Welcome to the Yorkshire Dales and something that bit different, the Citroen Ami. I'm Ben Quirk, welcome to Planet Auto. The Citroen Ami, one of those vehicles that many of you have wanted us to get behind the wheel of for, well, since it was launched. And I've got to put on my sunglasses because it's that damn cool. Yeah, it may have a 6 kilowatt electric motor and only have a range of around 45 miles. But it's extremely is not even going to cover it. It's super fun. You've got the tonic, you've got the vibe, and you've got the pop. They start at just under 8,000 and top out at 9,000. It's likely been developed for, say, city driving. It's got a lithium-ion battery setup, and they're laid out across the floor. I mean, it's easy to park. No low beam, no high beam, just lights. And yes, we do have indicators. Now, when they built the Ami, they were rather clever. For a start, the front is the same as the rear. Also, when you look at the doors, they're exactly the same, which makes sense why the hinge is on one side on the rear and one side on the front. Now, that's a good way of saving money. Now, this isn't going to suit everybody. It's got, well, certain applications, shall we say. It's plastic, so you can get things like colour options. The thing is, it doesn't need to have anything seriously substantial. The key is lightweight. But at the other end of the scale, robust enough to take a beating up, say, a moor. No rapid charge like you'd expect, but you can Type 2 charge it, and a full charge in around 3 hours, and that'll give you about 45 miles. Top speed, well, it claims 28, but we just had 29 on this small incline. So it remains to be seen. And as Annabelle mentioned to me, it fits into our wheelhouse because it's equivocally quirky. And to be perfectly honest, I don't think you'll find many things that are any more eccentric. Bar maybe the Sinclair C5 that we saw a few years ago that was actually sat next to one of these. Thank you to Richard for that. It virtually costs nothing to run it. Maintenance is minimal. I mean, for a start, it's still got things like front brake discs and rear drums. Now get this, if you're 14 in France, you can drive one. And I think in this country, if you're 16 and got probably a CBT, you can drive it too. Now, a few of you are probably thinking, ooh, he's got a Citroen Ami. What's that, 1971? Well, yeah, that's actually where this comes from. So it does take its heritage into account. But we're seeing more and more of this kind of creativity from Citroen. And to be honest, I like it. I mean, the fact that you've got folding little windows. Pop. You've got your quarter lights here that are bigger than most normal cars. Little 14-inch wheels with some rather funky wheel trims. I suppose it's like a design icon of the time. And I think one of the things that really appeals to me is the fact it's got a wheel at every corner. So it means it handles exceptionally well. I love the two-tone look. Also things like the Go Faster stripes. It's almost irony.
Well, as you can tell, Ben has been mesmerised by what is arguably the cutest thing I have ever seen on the road. It's friendly, which is really quite par for the course when you think about the name. It's a pootling machine. That's basically how I see it. I could just see myself going to and from the shops without ever having to worry about charging it too much or what the range is going to be. There's no anxiety. It's just a fun, quirky little number that I would use on a daily basis. Mind you, it's simplicity. When you think about it, you've got one windscreen wiper. It doesn't really worry about the passenger. You don't have a rear view mirror either. You've got these two cute little dump mirrors. And that's all you need for reversing because you've got a fantastic turning circle with the fact that she's so cute and small. It's an unusual drive. Get in one and test drive it and see what I mean. And I'm not surprised that the limited edition ones all sold out within 18 minutes. It's guaranteed to put a smile on your face no matter where you are, where you're going, what you're doing. Go Faster stripes on it. Woohoo! Cute is definitely the key design factor here now, isn't it? Love it. Absolutely love everything about this poodle car.
Now, one of the first videos I saw was the doors flying open, but I've thoroughly tested them, and to be honest, I think they're pretty solid. The design language is something else. I mean, just check out the rear window. The fact that you've got all this shaping. I'm sure you'll agree that the characterful mud adds that little je ne sais quoi to the Citroen Ami. But the one thing you're probably asking yourself is, how is Ben going to get in there? For a start, I press So there's nothing actually to hold it. Yes, it's full of hard plastics, but it's robust. It's pretty solid considering what it is. I mean, yeah, things do rattle around a bit. And these nets, it's just, And you look at this and think, oh look, they've colour coded the insert. Well, not really. No, it's just the colour of the body, and you can just see it from the other side. In 6'3", it's relatively simple. This is a massive opening, like it's arguably like truck door size, and this is what you use to shut the door. Sounds pretty solid to me, to be honest. Yeah, it's pretty damn minimalist. And the one thing we have noticed is the fan is rather loud, but you'll see that in the driving section. But you've got a handbrake here, and on the left hand side you've got your gears. So you've got drive, neutral and reverse. Considering it's a plastic build seat, it's rather comfortable. I suppose, once again, it reminds me of a train seat. And it's very simple, but it's got to be lightweight because it's an electric car. So you save weight wherever you can. I mean, even the build construction, if you look up here, it reminds me of a roll cage. Yes, you can hear the rain on the roof, but do you care? Not really. And you've got, well, that's a pretty colossal sunroof for a vehicle of this size. But you've got loads of little storage inserts like this. Everything about this is fun. Yeah, you won't find one soft material in here, including the steering wheel. This is plastic. But it doesn't matter, you don't care. You've got a cute little cluster here, shows you your range and what gear you're in. Oh no, obviously the speed. Little instrument panel here. And this looks like a heated windscreen. So you've got a fan button, and then you've got your hazards. Little phone holder here, so you can get your navigation. Yeah, there's no radio, but you can listen to your own phone, so that's pretty good. Nice, what Annabelle and I assume is a shopping bag hook. Pretty robust, to be honest. That'll hold like your proper Asda shopping bag. It's a 2-pedal system, and I'm very glad to see I've got a footrest. Fair chunk of room in here. Now, Annabelle would probably argue that because when you sat like this, especially us two, it is a bit snug sideways. But as far as cabin space goes up and front, it's pretty damn good. Now, there are some crude fitments, but the bottom line is you've got a seatbelt. But yes, as you'd expect, there's no reach and brake adjustment in the steering wheel. But because you can get the seat this close, you don't really need it.
They're a little bit snug. Cute little beep beep. Oh, this is so cute.
Good morning. What's that noise? Well, that'd be the fan in the Citroen Ami. And we're just waiting for the window to demist. Okay, we were a bit clueless then. All you can see from the steering wheel is this fan, but if I look a bit more, I can actually see we've got a window demister, and that's really sped it up, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Tally-ho! On the open road.
Float.
Yeah, I think it's the electric railway on the Isle of Man, actually. Oh, I can see what it's all about. This is
Look at the smile on Ben's face.
Lower it. 18, 19, 21. Okay, what's the brakes like? Not bad. It's not the heaviest region in the world, but it does its job. It'll be interesting to see what it does going down a steep hill. Feels pretty rigid, doesn't it?
It does indeed.
Suspension's locked. Feels like a lowered car. So yeah, we've used a mile of range, but that's not surprising. We're climbing hills. Well, it's keeping the window demist. That is really daunting how close the camera is. That should give you an idea of how wide the cabin isn't. Going up hills, you do feel it pull back a little. Wow. It's almost like a configuration of a train, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even with the luggage area down there.
I'll show you that again, guys. Look at it, it's quite big. Lots of smiles and grins.
Look at that. What a
great turning circle.
You can tell it's not got power steering, which I like, so you get a lot of feel. But look, it's very responsive. Good feedback. Right, let's floor it up the hill. 15.
Oh, 16, 17. Woo!
Okay. 17. So that's where you'll notice it. I do like that. The key to hills is get a run up. because of its weight, it feels quite balanced. Oh, right, I better floor it now. Oh, this looks pretty steep. 21, 20, 19. It's like watching deceleration. No, it feels nicely balanced. It's super fun. Meow. Refinement in the cabin, well, you can't hear a thing. Because of the fan. Yeah, a bit of road noise.
And the sci-fi electric noise, which has to stay on permanently. We can't keep going, Benjamin.
I'm going to go for 22.5 miles. And then we've got 22.5 miles to go home. All right. That's not bad.
No.
Up to 15, that is not bad. 19, 20. Ah, yes. Now we're on the open road. 29.
Woo.
Where you top up wiper fluid, maybe that's where the fuses are. Well, the heater gets quite warm, doesn't it?
It does. It's definitely ticks all the boxes. Citroen's onto a winner with this. It's quirky, it's fun to drive. It is a wee bit noisy, but it's something you can easily live with.
Plus we've got our windows down. Yeah, the one thing I'd change, Annabelle, is the fact that I'd like a wiper on this side so I can actually see out the windscreen.
Exactly, yeah. But that's scraping the bottom of the barrel, really, isn't it?
It certainly is.
There's a lot to love about this little Ami. It feels like a friend.
Very agile and nimble. Thank you. Well, hello. That sounds like overdrive in the Zara, doesn't it? When you had it in gear and you back off, they go.
That's where I've heard it before.
It's a long straight. Easy right.
In a nutshell, it's not going to suit everyone's need, but it's practical. You can run it at practically no cost, and it's so flipping cute. Used 11 miles of range.
That's not bad considering we've been doing 0 to 15 starts like every 30 seconds.
Well, exactly that.
No, it's completely mesmerised me, like Annabelle said. I'd have one of these in a heartbeat. The only thing I would request is a slightly higher top speed, say 40 miles an hour. Because on country roads, you are going to have people trying to overtake you, which will ruin the experience. But if you find little roads like this, or, you know, city driving, it'll be a pleasure. It really will.